What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to drop in here and I'm going to talk about the Exodus render, do a little review on it. It has been a full year since I've been running these Exodus, and I want to talk a little bit about them today. So let's get it out of the package. First and foremost, this package is really cool. It's got magnets. Open it up. Right there it is. And like, honestly, this packaging is like, when I get into it, it's like I actually have something. Like, I actually like got it. You know, it's not just a something you pull off the shelf and you use scissors to cut it open. Like, it's actually, wow, you have something, you know. And that just goes to show you like how Exodus as a company and how the guys are there that design all this stuff, and you know, the marketing behind it. It's just top-notch stuff. So this is just like a foam spacer basically that's cut out like the camera. Oh, gotta drop it. But here it is. There's the Exodus render camera right there. In the package, it's going to come with your strap, and then it's going to come with your antenna as well. So let's get into this. And first, I do want to discuss a little bit like the things that I look for in a cell cam. Number one, reliability. Definitely reliability, and battery life is another one, just because cell cams, to me, it needs to take place of not having to go in there all the time and ruining an area or something, or soaking in an area where you want to get intel on for next year. You know, a lot of these times where I'm looking in areas that might be 2-3 years down the road where you don't want to go in there, but you're just eyes in the sky kind of thing. So reliability, battery life, cellular plans, like, you know, how much they are, easy to set up. Are they easy to set up? The quality of pictures, obviously, and does the camera spook deer? You know, there's a lot of people out there saying that cameras and cell cams, they let off like a little sound that humans can't hear but deer can hear, and do they spook deer? First, I will say I have yet to have a deer spook from a cell cam, and nothing from these renders at all. I've ran other cell cams in the past and that aren't renders, and I have yet to have one spook from a deer. Now, they could spook from camera placement if I'm putting them right in their face. If not, or, you know, I just don't think a deer comes in and just hears this noise. And that's just me though, but I don't know. That's just from what I'm experiencing. So those are the things that I'm basically looking for in a cell cam. Next, the thing that I like about this camera the most, there's a couple things. And first and foremost is when you get it set up on a tree, okay? Let's say you get it on a tree and you open the latches here. These latches are nice, just like this, boom. Right there, got the interface. But when you get it set up on a tree, okay, and you turn it up on setup mode, your screen will show what you're pointing at. So what I like to do is hit the enter button, boom, right there. It'll send you a thumbnail through the ScoutTech app on your phone, and it'll show you what it's looking at. The next thing is this little guy here, solar panel. You can get them with these solar panels. I really enjoy this. I actually put my first solar panel out this summer in the 1 acre, and it is running flawlessly right now. And I can get into the solar panels in a later video. That's what I plan on doing. But yeah, this is another thing I like, external battery source. For me, I soak these cameras for a long time, and again, it goes back to cell cams. You shouldn't have to go in there all the time to check it and see what the heck's going on. So solar panel, definitely good. ScoutTech app is another one. So you get this app on your phone, ScoutTech app it's called, and that's another video that I need to do, is that everything that the ScoutTech app offers is awesome. You can control this whole camera through your ScoutTech app, which is really cool. I mean, I'm not going to be able to hit on them all, but just things right off the head is you can change the megapixels. You can see how many pictures a particular camera has taken per month or in its lifetime, how much signal it's got, how much battery life. If the camera's working, it sends a status report. That's another thing that I like about these, is that I have it send a status report every day at midnight. So I get the status report. It tells me exactly how much battery's life left, you know, how many pictures it took, you know, how full the SD card is. If there's a branch moving, getting false triggers, you'll get all that. That's what I like. And that's another thing, like, there's times where I get false triggers because of a branch or it's windy or something like that. I'll go into the ScoutTech app and I will go in there and you can dictate when you want the camera to work. So let's say I want the camera to work from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. and not work the rest of the time. I will go, if there's a false trigger and there's branches in the way, I'll go in there and change it so it works later, and then once the wind calms down or the weather changes a little bit, I'll go back in there and I'll adjust it to where it'll work all the time, and then I'm not filling the SD card up. That stuff's awesome. Like, how many times have you gone back to your trail cam and it's like, you know, you got weeds just going like this for 2 days and your camera's full and your card's full and it's been sitting out there for a month and you don't have any of that intel. So that's another thing. Those are just a few things on the Scout Tech app that, you know, really sets this apart, in my opinion, to other cell cams. The next thing is picture quality. I like to run these on 8 megapixels. You can run them on 12, but I run them on 8. I think they're just fine for images. You can request HD photos. There's a couple times that I'll get a picture or something, you just really can't decipher a couple things, and you go through the Scout Tech app and you go to that camera and you can request things, and you request an HD photo, and it doesn't take long for me anyway, and it, like, within the next half hour to an hour, you'll have that HD photo and you can really see a buck might look like, or if he's got a kicker or something like that. There is a lot better quality with HD, so that is nice as well. Also, the 5-year warranty. I don't know of any other trail cams, and I could be wrong, in the industry that have a 5-year warranty. Now this has a 5-year theft and damage coverage, and I mean, it's half a decade. It's like, that's nice. And if you get a camera stolen, let's say you're on public land or private or whatever, and a camera gets stolen, they will give you $50 off your next render purchase, so it's pretty cool. But the warranty, the 5-year warranty, is awesome. You just call them up, tell them what would happen, and, you know, send the camera in basically and replace it. So that's really nice. And then lastly, one of the things, and like I said, I don't have batteries in this, but the menu on this thing is very, very easy to use. That's a big thing for me. It's interface, and you know how clear it is, how crisp, how the buttons are. You know, you're not like T9 and on an old cell phone, like trying to get to the T letter. You know what I mean? It's like couple clicks. If you know, it's really self-explanatory. If you need to do a firmware update and you have the camera with you, it's really easy to find it. Setting your camera settings before you get it out is really nice as well. So those are some of the things that I really like about this camera. The latches are another one. These latches are really nice, really tight. I've never had any issues with like ants or bugs or anything getting in this thing. There is right here, this little trap door, if I can get it open, right there on the bottom is where your solar panel plugs into. So make sure that that right there is closed, because if it's not, you could get some bugs or something in there. Just make sure it's closed. There's a speaker in the bottom. You can also do video on these things. The video is awesome. You can set it to where it's got pictures, but you can request HD videos on it, and I really like that as well. It takes up a lot of your data, but if that's something you want, video, definitely use it. Right here, like on a lot of cameras, it's got the weather stripping, the rubber weather stripping. I've never had any issues with any weather getting in there or anything like that. The render that is out in the woods still it's kind of faded because it's been out for a full year, and I've yet to get any weather in here. Nothing like this has broke down. It's really nice. I mean, I say they're built like brick shit houses. They are. They really are. So going forward, I want to talk a little bit about the camera, battery tray. So let's open this up. So if you open up the lid here, right here, there's a button on the side. If you just hit that, like that, the battery tray opens in the back. Sorry, it's probably not in focus. Right there. It takes 8 AA batteries. I really suggest putting lithiums in them. You're going to spend more money, obviously, but here is a little scenario I had last year. So I put my first render out July 1st last year, and it ran until January, like middle of January, so 7 months or so, on 8 AA lithium batteries. I didn't have an external power source at that time, but I mean, went through the whole, basically most of the summer, through the fall, through part of the cold winter, and then finally it ended its battery cycle. So I recommend 8 lithium AA batteries. cheapest place I can find them, and this is a little secret, just don't go to the one that I'm located near, but Sam's Club, you can get, if you're a member, you can get really cheap lithium AA batteries there. So AA batteries, I've already talked about the status report. It's key to get that. So next, I want to go to underneath the camera here. Right here, there is a 1/4 inch threaded hole, and you have one on the back here. So if you have like a screw-in adjustable mount, you can put it on the back or put it on the bottom. Or if you want to use the strap goes in the bottom or right in the middle here, and you have these holes right here or right here, just like this. If you run a lock, like a Cobra lock or something, I do have a couple Cobra locks that I use, and right here you can put a padlock if you'd like. So try to keep your camera safe or from getting stolen. That is definitely something you can do. A lot of guys run paracord for straps. I know Chad, he runs exclusively paracord. He doesn't use the strap from Exodus. Right here's the antenna, just screws in here. And honestly, I've had other cell cams. I'm not saying this antenna won't break, but I've had other cell cams that this thing is like broke really easily. This thing's pretty robust. But yeah, antenna goes up there. This camera is pretty small as well. I mean, I would say it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's any smaller than a regular camera, but it's not like big and bulky in my opinion. I like to find trees that are a little bit bigger in this, just to hide the profile a little bit better. That's what I like, but you know, people have different discretion as well. So if there's any cons to this thing that I've come to find, and honestly there is maybe one, and I say that loosely, but it's when I'm pairing it with the solar panel. So this cord right here plugs into the bottom of the solar panel, and then the cord wraps around and plugs in right under here, okay? But if I open the container, it goes right there also. So what I found to be kind of difficult is when you try to feed that cable through the bottom, the door is already locked. So I tried to figure out, like with this cord, it's got a little give at the end to it, okay? So what I would do, because I wanted to run the camera, I want to see where it's pointing when I plugged this in, because pro tip with the solar panel, get the solar panel set, eject the battery tray, okay? Eject the battery tray, turn the camera off, eject the battery tray, plug this into the solar panel, and then plug it into the bottom of the camera, turn the camera on with the battery tray ejected still. Okay, so that tells the camera that this will be the main power source. You want this to be the main power source, and then your batteries to be the backup. So the camera's on, you pop the battery tray up, okay? So now, but this is open still, and then you still have this plugged in to the camera, but it's worked through there. So I was trying to find a way to be able to close this while this is still plugged in. You kind of got to finesse it and work it in, but if I had any complaints, that would be the only one right there. And really, it didn't take me much. It wasn't like I was saying foul words to it or something like that, didn't want to use it. It was nothing like that. It was just more of like, man, I feel like that might be a little easier somewhere else. But other than that, the thing's awesome. If you guys want to check out more about this camera, go to ExodusOutdoorGear.com and pick up an Exodus render. And then also, I do recommend this. I've been running one of these in the 1 acre for about a month now, and that is the main power source, and it's still full battery. I've got good sunlight in there, so that helps as well. But yeah, this thing is awesome. The camera pattern's nice. What I like to do, a lot of guys like to get the camera up high. I've been doing that a little bit, like one stick high, just messing around with it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like I feel like I miss deer. So what I'm doing is actually I'm about 5'10". I get it about a little bit above head height and point it down just a little bit, and it seems to be working all right. I'm still playing with that, but if you guys want to know anything more about these, like I said, go to ExodusOutdoorGear.com. And always, thank you guys for the support. And if you guys like this review, leave a comment. If you want me to review something else on the camera, please do so as well. And I guess I'm going to end this thing right here.